Thank you, Mr. Furgerson.
Okay, a short statement from the defendant himself there. And as you can see, the signal, it held out just until he finished there. But that was the end of his statement. We're going to see if we can get that signal back. In the meantime, let me bring in my two guests who are watching remotely, Sonny Slaughter and Tommy Pope. Your thoughts before we hear the judge impose the sentence. What are your thoughts on what the state said, the defense, and then the defendant himself? Sonny.
I agree with the prosecution 100%. I think that the defense had an opportunity to identify with an expert whether Paul has autism. I'll be sharing something later about autism and those on the spectrum. I do not think that is valid if he has not been seen and evaluated for that. I think the judge is going to hand down a sentence that is commiserate with the actions, his behaviors, and the death of a young Timothy Furgerson. Let's not forget who the victim actually is and was in this case.
That's right, Sonny. It was Timothy, not Paul, certainly not Shonda. Tommy Pope, share with us your thoughts on all this, if you would, please.
I think what you heard from the prosecutor is he kind of reiterated, I think it ought to be in the sentencing range that was handed down in that state. But then he also said, Judge, I can see reasons to go above it, and I can see reasons you go below it, and whatever you do, I think that would be just. And so I thought from the prosecution and then from the defense, there wasn't really the adversarial nature as much as a resignation that this is a tragic case of a young man that's got to be held responsible. And the tough job in the courtroom today is for that judge because, there's threads of mental illness or whatever they want to call it, certainly not autism from what the prosecutor said, but, to find if he can be cured of whatever this behavior is, then he could be productive. He's clearly extremely intelligent. I thought he was well-spoken in his words. And so the judge has got a tough job. We always say, tempering justice with mercy and trying to find the right spot. It's going to be interesting to see what he hands down.
You're right, Tommy. Excellent points from you and Sonny here. And when we think about Paul, this is a young adult who does have a lot of years left. When we think about what kind of a threat to society would he be, I'm not so sure if he'd be any threat. Here, the threat was to his younger brother in his house, also with the power and control of his wicked mother being exerted upon him. I wonder if this young man would do okay once he gets through some programs and gets a lot of intense therapy and help in prison. Sonny, your thoughts on, do you think at some point in time Paul Furgerson can become a productive member of our society?
I do. Brian Stevenson once said, we are better than the worst thing that we have ever done. And I think this fits that particular case. And I think we should all believe and hope that each of us has redeemable qualities. And I think that, as you said, without the threat and coercion of his mother, he can become a productive member of society.
I agree with you, Sonny. Tommy, last word to you, please, on this point. I know you thought his words were well-spoken. I agree with you. He seemed remorseful. He seemed contrite. What do you think that may do with the judge here? Do you think it means anything to the judge to hear him being apologetic and regretful for what's occurred?
I think it does when it's sincere. It appeared to be sincere. He's also had the opportunity to watch this young man in the courtroom and also watch his mother and her behavior in the courtroom. And so the good thing is he's out from under her fingerprint. The bad news is that fingerprint's going to be on him for the rest of his life. And, can he overcome it? I'm with Sonny. I hope, I've got to believe in our faith in humanity that he can be redeemable and that, he was carrying out her wishes, which doesn't totally defend it, but it does explain it.
Yes, well said. Tommy Pope, Sonny Slaughter, always a pleasure to have you both on this program. Thank you so much for all of the insight. And what we're going to do here, since we're nearing the top of the hour, we're going to squeeze in a break. When we come back, we're going to go back into that hearing. We're going to hear the judge's remarks. What might he do with Paul Vander Ark? Will he be joining his mother in prison? If so, for how long? Might he get a period of probation? Clearly, this young man needs supervision. We'll see how long it is when we return Thank you for watching Court TV Live. Welcome back to Court TV Live. I'm Julie Grant. Thanks for being with us on this Monday morning. So right now we're about 30 minutes out from the major live trial in New Mexico, the Baldwin movie shooting case against the former armorer on the film, Hannah Gutierrez. Now the state's expected to call the lead investigator